I'm out here at Wind Cave National Park in the Black Hills region of South Dakota. I just entered the park and I've already been sidetracked by a whole herd of buffalo. I'm just seeing them everywhere. This is more buffalo than I've seen at a single place before. This is very cool. Anyway, I'm going to try to get a tour of the cave at some point today. There are only guided tours available for this cave, so you do have to book a reservation for a guided tour. I've been told that half of the tours are available online. Basically, you can book them in advance. However, I tried doing that and none were available at that time, so I have to go to the visitor center and see if any are available now. There's a whole bunch of prairie dogs around too. If none are available, I'll come back tomorrow and try again, but fingers crossed I'm going to try to book a tour now. We'll see what happens. Well, unfortunately, as suspected, there were no available tours for today. I'm going to try again tomorrow. I'm going to have to show up like real early. So plan B for today is going to be Custer State Park in the Black Hills. Custer State Park goes through the heart of the Black Hills, and it's something that I've been wanting to check out for a while, so this should be fun. Try not to get distracted by all these prairie dogs. So I got sidetracked by the prairie dogs and the buffalo again, and while I was here, I pulled over to the side of the road, and there's a fire tower up at the top of one of these hills. And so I'm going to check that out right now. I'm heading up there and I'm going to see if I can go up it. Might be some good views at the top there. All right, heading up to this fire tower. There's just like a ton of these snapped trees. I'm really curious what did this. A historic windstorm with gusts of over 100 miles per hour struck western South Dakota on December 17th and 18th of 2025. This led to a lot of the tree damage that I'm currently seeing. All right, let's see if I can go up this thing. Unfortunately, access to the tower was blocked off and I was very clearly not meant to go up it. All the same, the views at this peak were incredible and I could see for hundreds of miles in any direction. You could even see Badlands National Park off in the distance, which I had just visited a few days ago. Well, I was hoping to go up the fire tower, but you were very clearly not meant to. It was blocked off. Still a spectacular view up there. I think I could see Badlands like way off in the distance, which is kind of cool because when I was at Badlands, I was noticing that I could see the Black Hills way off in the distance, so I'm getting the flip side of that view. But anyway, heading back to my car for now and then onwards to Custer State Park. This is still Wind Cave, I believe. There's a lot to do in Wind Cave National Park above ground too, including a bunch of hiking trails and obviously viewing all the buffalo and the prairie dogs, which never gets old. It's so fun. The lady at the entrance station was just saying that they did have a fatality last week from the buffalo. I guess a hiker was just minding their own business, didn't happen to notice a buffalo that was a little too close to them. They're aggressive. So, you know, it's definitely something to be mindful of. They're very fun to look at from a distance, but from a distance is the key word there. If you've never been to the west, there are a bunch of cattle guards on the roads which serve as barriers that hooved animals can't pass across. I was heading into buffalo territory. I've seen bison before, but never in these numbers. I wanted to keep a safe distance, but some of them were headed towards the road and right in front of traffic. It was a little too close for my taste, especially given what I had just been told by the park ranger. Still, seeing all these buffalo grazing in their natural element was an unbelievable experience. I also saw a few antelope roaming here and there as well. I was making my way onto the Needles Highway, which gets its name from the unique rock formations that can be found along it, as well as some narrow tunnels that you have to pass through which kind of resemble threading a needle. There's only enough space for traffic to pass through in one direction, and the only way to know if there's oncoming traffic is to approach the tunnel. This time I was lucky. All right, well, these are the Black Hills. This is amazing. Same mountain range as Mount Rushmore and the Crazy Horse Memorial. But aside from those two, the Black Hills as a whole are just spectacular. This is great. There was a trail I was hoping to hike called Cathedral Spires. I didn't know where the trail was located in the park, however, and I had no idea if I was anywhere near it. Eventually, I saw a sign for the trail and decided to stop driving to go for a hike. It was a crowded area though, and parking was easier said than done. I don't know about this. Okay, well, this is the Cathedral Spires Trail. Aside from the Needles Highway itself, which is already spectacular, this is the one trail that I really wanted to get to. The views here are just supposed to be amazing. I mean, they already are, but hopefully it just gets even better. This is a 2.3 mile out and back trail with 500 feet of elevation gain. Not the craziest hike I've ever done, but it'll definitely be a workout too, so looking forward to this. Let's go. I'm currently at about 6,300 feet of elevation. It's not the highest up I've ever been, but it's definitely the highest up I've been in a while. So I'm not totally acclimatized to this yet. I might have to just kind of take it slow. Wow. Just looking around, this is amazing. I usually don't think of 500 feet as being all that much elevation gain, but it's definitely a steep 500 feet. And you combine that with the altitude, it's a workout. That's for sure. This is great though. Well, I gotta say, I've been to Mount Rushmore before. You know, Mount Rushmore is cool and everything. You go there and you look at it and you say, hey, it's Mount Rushmore. But this is something else altogether. This is spectacular. Just the Black Hills as a whole. Unbelievable, like these spires. Wow, amazing. Okay, well, I'm heading back to my car. Got the rest of the Needles Highway ahead of me. I was approaching the Needles Eye Tunnel, which is the tunnel this highway is most well known for and is also the most unforgiving with regards to oncoming traffic. This time it was my turn. They need to get a stoplight for that tunnel. Wow. Made it. The next morning, I made another attempt at reserving a ticket for Wind Cave. Hey, so I'm heading back into Wind Cave National Park now. So the visitor center opens at 8 a.m. and I showed up this morning at about 8:10 to get tickets for one of the tours. I waited in line for probably close to an hour, and you're not actually going to believe this, but I got the last available ticket. There were still a bunch of people behind me and they had to turn them away after they sold me my ticket because there were no more tickets available. I lucked out there. I'm doing what's called the Natural Entrance Tour. They rate it as moderately strenuous. I think it has about 300 stairs or something like that, which to me doesn't sound all that bad. But this is exciting. Wind Cave, let's go. You start out the tour by traversing a series of descending staircases and passageways. It isn't overly strenuous hiking, but it can be a bit slippery, and there are some narrow sections as well as areas you need to duck under to avoid hitting your head. If you have issues with claustrophobia, this might be a hike to pass on.
This part of North America was covered by a shallow sea, and in that sea were seashells that had gone to the bottom of the ocean floor. Now, the oceans would leave and come back and bring more shells along with it. So it'd be shells on top of shells on top of shells, and they would press together to form limestone. This stuff right here is boxwork. It is what we're most well known for here in the cave. And believe it or not, this was formed before the cave was. Do you remember that limestone that was made by those seashells? It had cracked under all of that pressure, and calcite fills into those cracks. Now, calcite is chemically stronger than the limestone around it. And so, when the carbonic comes down and eats away at that limestone, it does not eat away at that calcite, and it leaves it behind. If you were to throw a bucket of acid at a brick and mortar wall, it eats away at the bricks, but leaves behind the stuff in between. And that's exactly what you're looking at on the ceiling here today. Now, there's some statistic out there that Wind Cave has around 95% of the world's known boxwork. I always am a little iffy given that stat, just because we still have more cave that we are exploring, so we don't know for certain yet. Right now 209 feet beneath the Earth's surface. This will be the deepest that you go on your tour today. Wind Cave National Park is the third longest cave in the United States and the sixth longest cave in the world. The two that beat us out for number 1 and 2 is going to be Mammoth Cave at around 426 miles long, and actually Jewel Cave down the road at 220. And we stand at just shy of 170.
All right, well, that was the natural entrance tour at Wind Cave National Park. Very cool. Well, guys, thanks for coming along like always. Hope you enjoyed it. I know I did. But until next time, catch you later. Peace.